Hey everyone, my name is Dr. Dolores Tarver. I'm a licensed psychologist here in Georgia, coming to you with your next mental health moment. And today we will be discussing the healing power of breath. Now, it has been a tough couple of weeks for us. If you are feeling like I am feeling, you might have a wide range of emotions right now, and you may actually just be exhausted. You may have been up late at night, worried about your loved ones. You may have difficulty sleeping based on images that you've seen on the news or in social media. You may be tired of having the same conversations over and over again with people who you just feel aren't getting the point. You may have blocked people on social media. You may be exhausted about trying to explain to well-meaning coworkers, family and friends, how you feel about the social injustices and the systematic racism that plagues our country. You may just be completely overwhelmed about how to move forward. You may have been rallying and protesting and writing and emailing and calling and Zooming, trying to come up with some realistic strategies that we can implement in order for us to feel like we have some power and control and that we're doing something to break the oppression that affects our people of color. You may be at this point so tired of having these conversations and feel like there are no results that you may just feel powerless to even do anything at this point, or maybe feeling like it is just not worth the fight right now because you're just that exhausted. So regardless of what you are feeling right now, and I gather that that could be a lot of different things for everyone, I think it's important that we take some time and really think about breathing. Now, I know that some of you have seen the video of George Floyd and recognized that it was one of the most painful things that you have ever watched or read about if you didn't watch it or saw pictures of it, to see someone take another human being's ability to breathe away, to murder them, watching them, hearing them take their last breath. And that image will haunt us for some time, and I imagine his family members for the rest of their days. So I want to talk to you about why it's important now that we make sure that we're breathing. So what does breath do? Breath is very powerful. It is one of the things that connects us. It binds us. We all breathe. That's part of one of the essential functions of our life. We need to be able to take in air in order to do everything that we do daily. It is also something that is very cleansing for us in terms of stress management, being able to get pain under control. It allows us to think more clearly. Thinking clearly means we're better leaders, that we make better decisions, that we're able to handle difficult situations as they occur. Breathing allows us to recenter. It allows us to be one with nature and connect. Breathing allows us to be able to keep that blood pressure down, to be able to make sure that we're not causing our heart to work any harder than it needs to. Breathing increases our energy and our strength. We're able to reduce our anxiety when we're able to effectively breathe. We're able to go to that place where we call wise mind and be able to take that step back and not be as reactive at times because we're just so overwhelmed, or maybe you don't have that clarity of mind. Like when you're tearing the house up to find something that you misplaced, and then you realize if you just sit down and take some cleansing breaths, it'll come to you where that item is. Or you may realize that in your hurried effort to find it, you overlooked it and it was right there in your face the whole time once you take that cleansing deep breath. Breathing is so vital in so many different ways. But a lot of times we take it for granted and don't make the extra steps that we need to ensure that we're taking time to breathe consistently daily. Not the autonomic process, the automatic process that occurs in breathing, the breathing that you don't have to think about when you're asleep, when you're awake, but actually sit and think about the power of your breath. So I want to talk about how to restore breathing. First of all, it's important that we take the time Set aside that time, schedule time to truly breathe. So that means turning off those electronics, turning off the people around you, going to a quiet place, maybe in your prayer closet. It may be in a room where not a lot of people go. Some people actually have rooms that they call their calming rooms, where they can go and sit because there's not a TV in there. There's not other things that could distract them. Then once you get to that calming place, wherever it's going to be, you can sit or you can stand to do your deep breathing. But you want to make sure that when you're in there, that you're actually going to focus on the breath. So a lot of times we go and we sit and our mind is still racing and we're thinking about all of the things we need to accomplish. But what you want to do a part of this process is actually connect with what it is like to take those deep cleansing breaths. You want to start with 5 seconds in and 5 seconds out, to the point where you're able to get 6 rotations in a minute. And then we want to make sure that we're practicing this for at least 5 minutes. And this is every single day. So how do you know you're breathing correctly? So you're breathing in through your nose, and then you're going to breathe out through your mouth. And that's the way that you're going to practice the breathing exercises. If you're doing it correctly, you're going to notice when you breathe in, see that chest go up. When you breathe out, see that chest fall back down. Same for your stomach. You'll see your stomach contract and you'll see it release. That's how you know that you're doing it correctly. It's important that you're counting so that you know how long you're keeping the breath. If you have problems breathing, you may find that it's harder for you to breathe for 5 seconds initially, but you can work your way up. And 5 seconds is just a good general place, but you will be able to hold that breath for longer the more you get good air in your lungs, and strengthen your capacity to be able to take in those cleansing breaths for longer. You want to make sure that you do different things, right? So you can close off one nostril, breathe in and out one nostril only, switch to the other side. If you have sinus problems or any kind of other nasal problems, that might be a little difficult. So you want to make sure that your passageways are cleared if you want to try that one. Another thing that you can do is go outside. You may hear in my background, there's rain, it's raining here. Go outside on your back porch or sit outside in your car out in the rain. It's a perfect time to practice that breathing, because you can focus on hearing the sound of that rain behind you. If you've got oceans or rivers or other bodies of water around you, ponds, you can go and sit out there, hearing that water, hearing the breeze go across the water, or sitting outside on that deck or on a park bench and letting the sun fall on you, feeling that sunlight. Because again, you want to be aware of the process of breathing. We take for granted breath, and one of the things that I want to encourage us to do is to make sure that we never take for granted the power of our ability to breathe, so that we actually practice it and utilize it to the advantage of allowing us to be more healthy individuals, to be more well, to do more things. Another thing that you can do is you actually can expand and contract your hands. So I say start in prayer position, keep those fingers together, but push your hands apart. And then as you breathe in, you close and contract the hand. And as you breathe out, you expand, as a way for you to be able to recognize whether or not you're taking that time to fully push out. You want to make sure that you feel that breath when it comes out. So imagine if you had a candle in front of you, it would flicker as you push that breath out slowly. Another visual is being able to imagine a balloon and you expanding that balloon to its full capacity, or the little brown sacks that we use for lunch, expanding it to its capacity. And if you want to start with one of those to make sure that you're fully taking those deep breaths, you definitely can. This is great to do before bedtime. It's also really great to do if you have problems sleeping. So instead of laying in bed, having problems with that insomnia, get up and do a deep breathing exercise. It's a great way to start your day, to get that mental clarity, to get you moving, to have that energy to kind of wake you up and get you more alert. It is great also to do if you're feeling anxious or stressed. It is something that you can do with children. So from our little ones on up to our elders, this is something that a family can do together. Practice breathing. If you're experiencing tension in your muscles, tightness in the shoulders, neck, back are common places where we hold a lot of tension, this is also a good way to release the tension in those areas. And you want to be able to really get to a point where it's a natural process for you to do this. You get better with practice, like anything else. And then once you get to a place where you're good at it, you may be then able to expand to a point where you're really able to think about something calming during this time, or if you want to focus those thoughts in a way that's restorative for you, that is sending you some empowering, encouraging message. It may be one of safety, especially given what's going on in our country right now, to ensure that you're safe, that your family is safe. It may be time you commune with God. It may be time where you think of scripture. It may be time where you think of affirmations. It may be a time where you think about your purpose. It may be time where you begin to nurture aspects of yourself that you want to continue to grow in, and remind yourself that you're capable and able. As you take each breath, you're stronger and you're wiser. And as the song says, and you're better. Okay? Be encouraged.